The Green Bay police officer accused of using a squad car to knock down a man during an arrest in court today for his final pretrial hearing.
This was supposed to be the last court date for police officer Matthew Knutson before a two-day jury trial. That trial is now likely not going to happen. In the First Alert update, Emily Byers shares the new developments from court.
Bill and Cammie, jury trial dates had already been set for the first week of November, but today legal counsel for Matthew Knutson explained that a deal with the district attorney is likely in the works.
Officer Matthew Knutson made a plea of not guilty to all charges back in August. Knutson is charged with misconduct in public office, which is a felony, and negligent operation of a motor vehicle, a misdemeanor. As we've reported, the incident happened in November of 2021. Police were looking for a man who ran away from a traffic stop. Body cam and dash cam footage released by the police department and the DA's office show Knutson driving into a grassy area outside of an apartment building and hitting the man with his squad car. According to the criminal complaint, there were inconsistencies between Knutson's report of the incident and the video footage. Today's court hearing was quick. Officer Knutson's legal counsel telling the court he has had very active, ongoing discussions on this matter with the Brown County District Attorney. He added that it has been challenging connecting with the DA since he is busy with a two-week trial for another case right now, but saying ultimately they will likely strike a deal.
I suspect that it is extremely likely that we're going to have a voluntary resolution, that we will not need the jury trial. There is an offer that has been presented. It's been worked through, and I'm confident that we will have a deal.
Knutson will be back in court on October 30th. Online court documents haven't been updated yet, but the judge said he would then treat that next court date as a plea and sentencing hearing. Bill?